Every evening, Daniel Whitmore, a powerful businessman known across the city, noticed the same quiet change in his son. 9-year-old Evan came home dirty. Mud stained his sleeves. Dust clung to his shoes. And his eyes, once bright and full of stories, now carried a tired silence that didn't belong to a child. At first, Daniel assumed the worst. School trouble. Bad influences. Maybe his son was hiding something. But teachers reported nothing unusual. Grades were fine. Behavior was perfect. Yet the silence remained. One night at dinner, Daniel finally snapped. "Why are your clothes always filthy?" he asked sharply. Evan flinched, lowered his head, said nothing. He simply stood up and left the table. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. Between memories of boardrooms, flights, and missed bedtime promises, one thought kept scratching at his chest. When did I stop really seeing my son? The next afternoon, Daniel made an unusual choice. Instead of heading to the office, he told his driver to stop 2 streets away from Evan's school. For the first time in years, he waited like an ordinary parent. Children spilled out laughing. Parents waved. A world Daniel had been too busy to notice. Then he saw Evan, walking slower than the others. Shoulders small, eyes scanning the road carefully. Daniel followed from a distance. Evan didn't go home. Instead, he turned down a narrow side street, then another, leading into a neighborhood Daniel only passed through with locked doors and tinted windows. The farther they went, the tighter Daniel's chest became. Finally, Evan stopped in front of a broken old building. Cracked walls, cloth hanging where windows should be. Daniel's heart sank. His son slipped inside. Holding his breath, Daniel approached the door and peered through the gap. Inside, Evan knelt beside a smaller boy sitting on the floor. The child looked thin, exhausted, wrapped in clothes too big for him. Evan quietly opened his lunchbox and placed it in front of the boy. The smaller child hesitated, then ate slowly, like the food might disappear if he moved too fast. Daniel felt something shatter inside his chest. Evan smiled gently, wiped the boy's face with his own handkerchief, then sat down beside him, right on the dusty floor. That's where the dirt came from, not trouble. Not rebellion, but kindness. Day after day, his son had chosen this place over comfort. Daniel stepped back, tears burning his eyes. His awards, his cars, his wealth all suddenly felt painfully small. When Evan removed his own sweater and wrapped it around the shivering boy, Daniel could no longer stay hidden. He pushed the door open. Both boys froze. Evan jumped up, fear flashing across his face. "I can explain," he said quickly, standing in front of the smaller child. "Please don't stop me." That sentence broke Daniel completely. He knelt down, not caring about dust, and pulled his son into a tight embrace. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "For every day I was too busy to see your heart." Daniel turned to the smaller boy, learning his name was Lucas, and that he had no family left. This building was all he had. Without hesitation, Daniel wrapped his coat around both boys. That evening, he brought them home, not as charity, but as family, the mansion that once felt empty filled with warmth. Laughter echoed where silence once lived. 3 plates replaced 2 at the dinner table. From that day on, Daniel changed. Meetings were canceled, trips delayed, bedtime stories were finally finished, and sometimes muddy shoes still appeared by the door. This time Daniel only smiled. Because he finally understood real success isn't counted in money, but in the lives we protect when no one is watching.